Hey guys, I'm gonna back here for the video, guys. Welcome back to the episode of my Madden retrospective series. We're gonna take a look at different stadiums in Madden 22 all the way up to Madden 25. Today we're taking a look at the Arizona Cardinals Stadium, and we are starting in Madden 22. And to be honest, again, this stadium goes crazy in Madden 25. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you this right now. Madden 22 to Madden 24, that's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get the right? Madden 25, it goes hard, okay? Usually stadiums, they progress over the years. Not Madden 20, not this stadium. This stadium goes hard in Madden 25. Nonetheless, though, we also really don't have too many locker rooms at all, really. We have the side locker room right there. We have this open-ended area over here, so kind of different than what we normally get out of this out of stadiums. We only have one legitimate locker room, and it actually is. It looks pretty good for Madden 22 standards. For Madden 22 standards, it does look a little. It actually looks pretty good. It's a little glitched out with how everything is set up, and also you can see underneath the bleachers. You can see the actual fans. It's a little glitchy. But for Madden 22 standards, I'll give EA Sports props on that. It looks a lot better than, again, other stadiums we have seen in Madden 22. So at least it's something to kind of look at and be like, okay, well, maybe this is decent. We also do have vendors over here, custom vendors, as always. I love it when they do custom vendors in these. I feel like it adds a little bit more detail to this. It makes it a little bit more interesting to look at. It's not just, generic and bland. It's actually customized. Over here, we have some bathrooms, no actual signage, which we do see in some stadiums for men's and women's bathrooms. That's not the case with this stadium. We do have custom, pizza vendors. Again, like I said, just a little custom stuff. I don't know. It doesn't really impact the game or change the game, but I like to see custom stuff in this game, in any game. It just makes it look a little bit better, in my opinion. Although we're not really going to see people walking around or people in this area until Madden 24. It's very lifeless, if we're being honest. That's the only problem with Madden 22 is that Madden 22 and Madden 23 is that there's not really any people around, so it kind of just looks lifeless and empty. Again, it gets better as we go throughout the Maddens. But with that being said, we do have some bleachers up here with some folks, but this is also not really fully designed all the way around that area. Now, this stadium does come with a couple different cool, nifty features. It does have a retractable roof, which again is, a little bit different with most dome stadiums have retractable roofs, but it's one of those situations where every single stadium that's a dome has a different type. So this one obviously goes straight down the middle. The Cowboy Stadium goes straight down the middle too, but those on the sides, it's a little bit different. Again, it's similar concept, different design. That's what I'll say. Anyway, the outside of this stadium in Madden 22 is pretty bland. Again, Madden 25 is when this is going to get crazy on the outside. But Madden 22 in general is known for the outside of the stadium. That's really what not outside of the stadium, outside of the map around the stadium. Madden 22 has the biggest map of any Madden. Madden 23 is 5% smaller. Madden 24 is the real upgrade. And Madden 25 is just Madden 24S. So for the most part, Madden 22 really focused on kind of just creating an environment on the actual map. So creating a city, creating, houses, creating businesses and stuff like that. So I know it's weird because it's a Madden game. It's a dome stadium. You're not going to see the outside, but that's kind of how the dev team worked. EA Sports kind of just let the dog off the leash, as they would say, with the dev team. They said, hey, build whatever you want to build and have fun. And they did. Legitimately did. They went crazy with the outside of these stadiums. But the inside for Madden 22 was just very lackluster. It's not really that great. We do have ourselves some parking lots over here, some more buildings. So it kind of looks like a decently dense map. Not anything like crazy special, but density-wise, definitely looks pretty nice. You do have the 2D rendered mountains in the background, which kind of looks so janky whenever they do this kind of stuff. If you don't know it's 2D rendered, you probably don't really think about it. But once you realize it's 2D rendered, you can never really not see it as 2D rendered again. And they also have buildings on the outside of the mountains. Interesting. But for the most part, this is something that EA does. It's not a bad thing, right? At the end of the day, you just have like 2D rendered stuff in the way background that really isn't impacting anything or impacting the game. It's just a nice little thing to look at. Again, if you no-clip inside and outside of stadiums. I kind of forget that like a lot of this stuff, again, EA adds to the game, details they add to the game. But most people don't see it because most people aren't able to no-clip inside and outside of the stadium. So it's just all stuff that goes on deaf ears because EA Sports doesn't care about presentation. One thing I think they really should bring back is presentation. You know, if you're really going to go crazy with the outside of these stadiums, just add presentation to the game so that we can see this stuff and enjoying this stuff and, you know, stuff like that. Again, stuff we would love to see in EA Sports, but I think it's right up there with gameplay that's never going to happen. Anyway, though, there is a lot of blank spaces in this. Now, this is Phoenix, Arizona, and it is like a desert, based on what I understand, so I guess that's kind of the concept they're going for here. Because you got random neighborhoods, random dense areas, and then you just got, like, emptiness. Absolute, utter emptiness. Random places around. And then you got the gigantic stadium with the beautiful practice field on the outside. And yeah, so this was Madden 22. Now we're about to get into Madden NFL 23, which that's this Madden 22S. And that's the best way I could put it, but this is Madden 23. And again, it is Madden 22S. It's really not that special. I mean, it's Again, I kind of always say it's because that's like the best way to put this game. But it's really just It's not crazy special, but it's not awful. It's just a little tiny here and there updates. You really got to look to see the updates for this stadium, for Madden 23 that is. But, That's like my best way to put it. I'm actually kind of surprised that the locker room's a little bit darker in this stadium than it was in Madden 22. Usually Madden 23 does better with lighting. That's usually, again, one of the factors they really do good at. But for some reason, it's actually darker in here. Yeah, it's actually darker across the board, it feels like. It feels like across the board, like, everything is darker, which not usually what we see out of Madden 22. Again, hey, listen, they hit a grand slam at Madden 25, so I'm just going to take the dubs where we can take the dubs, and this is the small dubs we can take. And if Madden 22 to Madden 24 is kind of mid, at least we know Madden 25 would be good. I do wonder how Madden 24 will be, though. So Madden 24, the big factor we're going to see when we get to it is there's people everywhere, and they literally added people everywhere like little ants. They're everywhere pretty much. So what we're going to see with this is there will be people every single 3 inches. So just a little update there. Get ready because the people is going to be peopling. But it does add a lot more to these stadiums. Because you see these stadiums right now, like Madden 23 right now, and it's very, very just empty. It's lifeless. There's not really much going on. You know, you feel like, okay, well, everyone's in their seats, but that's not really how football stadiums are. You know, people get up, they go bathroom, they get food, they go to the store, they might talk to one another, you know, they might do some other things. Like, that's kind of just how football stadiums are. For whatever reason, in Madden 22, Madden 23, they kind of just kept that emptiness going. Madden 24 and 25, they really did overboard. And that's kind of EA Sports' main thing they do. They're not really good at understanding social cues of this. And by the way, shout out to the fact we now have this pond thing right here. Or I guess a mirror, not a pond thing. So that's updated with Madden 23. Shout out to that fact. But I don't think EA Sports really understands the concept of, fixing things in margin. They kind of either go one extreme or the other extreme. The extreme of not fixing things or the extreme of going overboard. So again, this map is 5% smaller than Madden 22. Still a very big map. Still a lot of things going on. But it is definitely a teensy wincy bit smaller than Madden 22 is. Which again, like I said, for a dome stadium, it's not that big of a deal. But just remember, when you bought Madden 23... you bought a game that's 5% less than Madden 22. That's the takeaway from this video. Okay? Just know EA Sports did it. And we also have random lakes, like out here in the no man land of areas. Plus, we got some crap ton of neighborhoods. Holy crap, did they go crazy with the neighborhoods. I do like how the road structure does make sense to how the neighborhoods look. That's another thing that's really cool that EA does, is they actually do like structure the roads correctly. Again, things you really can't see, but they make sure are correct. Certain details that they really go hardcore on, but again, just other details were like, hey, you should probably focus on this. And EA's like, no. We're not going to do that. But we will focus on stuff that doesn't matter. Because science. Right? Yeah, science. That's what I'm going to go with. Alright, so we're about to kick off into Madden 24. And I'm kind of also interested in seeing this. Because again, I haven't seen Madden 24 no clipping inside and outside Madden 24 in a hot minute. So I'm kind of interested to see how much is changed. Because I know Madden 25 is insane. And again, we'll get to that after Madden 24. But I feel like Madden 20... Oh, well, yeah, after Madden 24. I feel like Madden 24 is also crazy. So, we're going to go straight down here. Some of these buildings, very small buildings. But for the most part, again, like I said, this map on the outside is dense. This highway actually kind of looks cool. I don't know why. The highways just kind of got me, bro. Kind of got me with the highway. But Madden 24 is dense. I feel like it's not as dense as Madden 23 was. Or sorry, Madden 23 is dense. It's not as dense as Madden 22 was. Excuse me, I completely forgot. For some reason, I called it Madden 24. But yeah, we got these random buildings out here. The 2D mountains that... oh, man. And then the foliage. Foliage randomly pops up. I got our roads structured all the way over there. Getting back to the stadium here. The cars do get custom license plates in Madden 24 as well. So, even the cars, man. Even the cars. Because these cars have little square wheels. Yeah, that's pretty weird looking. All right, Madden 24. Here we go. This is the good one. This is the, not Madden 25, but this is the good one. So what you're going to see over here in the red zone area is that there's people everywhere. It is a peopleized game mode, okay? People absolutely freaking everywhere. Just crazy amount of people. I don't know why. Now, I'm not sure if there's going to be people on the outside. EA is weird when it comes to dome stadiums. Sometimes they have people on the outside, sometimes they don't. It's kind of like random. But I feel like there's probably going to be people on the outside because I kind of remember people on the outside. Madden 24, this is the big problem. So you see how dark it is and the locker room is impossible to see inside? That's the problem with Madden 24. Madden 24, EA did not understand lighting and they didn't understand how lighting works. So every stadium in Madden 24 is very, very dark. And it's to a point where it kind of looks funny because it looks like they just forgot to put any type of light in areas. If it's an area that can be dark, it will be absolutely crazy dark. They also have fans inside the vendor booths as if they're employees working there. It's little details like this I always find freaking hilarious. Because, like, what? That makes no sense in any circumstance. You have fans inside the vendor booths working like it's, like, they're actual, like, employees. Like, ugh. Because, again, they're not, like, dressed up. They're actually, like, just fans. Yeah. So surprisingly enough, Madden 24, usually where we see the real big upgrades, right? We'll actually see like signs for like men's, women's bathrooms, ATMs, stuff like that. None of that is in Madden 24 in this stadium. And really, again, the darkness just makes it so freaking eerie and just kind of takes away from the joy of this stadium, which again is a very good stadium in this game. It's just that darkness kind of takes away from it. And also, they're not really spreading people out. And this is something, again, like I said before, is my problem with Madden 24, is they don't really spread people out in Madden 24. They kind of have them, like, clumped up in certain areas, which ends up making it so they just look like ants, and it's just like 1,000 people in one area. Instead of having them spread out more, which would make it a little bit more lively in some of the areas where you simply, you know, there's nobody, right? You want to have that kind of lively area. So kind of a lack or a L on EA's part on that point of view. For the outside of the map, what we're going to see is that it is a little bit smaller. And I also chose the closed variant, by the way, for this stadium today for Madden 24. But for the most part, the outside stadium is smaller than Madden 23. It's like 20% smaller. It's not a big deal. You know, again, because again, you can't see the outside of the stadium. But I will say for Madden 24 and Madden 25, they did an amazing job on the outside of the stadium. On the outside of the stadium, this is probably one of the best experiences you're going to get for an outside of a Madden stadium. Madden 25 is the best, but Madden 24 really started getting that whole situation down. And yes, there's people on the outside. Again, it's a 50-50 shot whether or not there will be people on the outside. Some dome stadiums have on the outside, some do not. The Texans have nobody on the outside. Cowboys have people on the outside. Sure. Let's go with that. That's kind of the mentality we're going with. 50-50 shot, just toss a coin in the air and you probably have a good chance whether or not that there's going to be people on the outside. Yeah. But again, like I said, I feel like if EA were to better structure how fans are in these games, even like inside, like where we can see them, right? If they structured it better, I feel like it would add more of a lively environment to it and it would look a lot better. But I don't know. That's something where, again, like gameplay, I just don't think that they care too much about. But they care enough to like copy and paste 1,000 fans with the same faces everywhere. But they don't care about making it look good. We need Madden 22 back, man. This Madden 22 crew, dev team, they were crazy. They actually made the game look amazing. They went overboard with things. They added extra details when really didn't need details. But still, I mean, you gotta respect it. You gotta give it props. They actually did a damn good job. Which I feel like ever since that, it's just been kind of oof. A little bit of oof and a little bit of oof. It's been kind of mid. So let's get rid of the mid and let's get back to the old dev team. That's what I'll say for Madden 26. That's how we save Madden. Old dev team back. Although the old dev team was kind of Giants fans, but still. All right, so now going into Madden NFL 25, the latest and greatest, and this is actually an update. This actually looks good. Going to the red zone area, again, very similar to what Madden 24 shows when it comes to people being everywhere. Let's actually start on this locker room. Still the darkness. EA. Okay. I was really hoping. Hopium was my best friend. I thought EA would actually fix the likeness in this locker room. Ironically enough, the big factor that's a W for Madden 25's update of the Cardinals Stadium is the outside of the stadium. It's not the inside. It's disappointing, man. It's like little stuff. Come on, little stuff. Anyway, you got some random people who are just complete shadow casts of them actual self because the lighting is so bad in this area. Bro, you could have made this so much better, EA. At least you made the outside pretty good. That's the only thing I'm going to hope on here is the outside is actually pretty decent. The inside, for the most part, in every single Madden, as you've seen, looks very similar, okay? It looks very similar. I feel like it was the best in Madden 22 and Madden 23. And then Madden 24, it kind of just fell off the face of the earth, and Madden 25 as well. We do have Downtown, which again is another custom sponsor. I really love it when they do these custom sponsors in these stadiums. It actually adds some realism to the stadium and makes it not feel like a copy and paste, thing. It actually feels like they actually tried and put some effort into it. Which, not always do we get that, but when we do, I do appreciate it, EA. Again, when you actually put time and effort into this stuff that we play every day, I do feel somewhat of like, okay, good job. You did it. You tried, and that's all that matters. I feel like a lot of people in Madden, like a lot of Madden players, we understand you're not going to give us the greatest, but try to work on gameplay. Try to not have glitches in the game. Unless we're on at the time that the glitches happen, then it's okay to have glitches in the game. But if we're at work or school, then don't have glitches in the game. Just try. We want a solid C effort. I feel like right now at EA Sports we get a solid F-. We want the solid C+, okay? Maybe a C-. We're not going to get a C+, let's be honest. But we want a solid C-, okay? Just give us that, EA, and we'll be happy. Certain things, just come on. Let's fix some problems. Yeah, I don't think they're going to, but that's beside the point. A lot of open-ended space in this stadium, in all honesty. Again, the mesh is not completing, not being connected correctly. Another really big factor I hate about that. I do wish they kind of, just a little bit extra time, attention to detail. But the outside of this stadium, yes, this is actually where I have fun playing this game, is when they make the outsides actually freaking amazing. Shout out to EA Sports. The only good thing we have here, we have this little thing on the outside. Not sure exactly what that is, but okay. We got the E-gate. We have the different letters. Now, we've had the different letters in every single Madden, so this is not new, but it's still cool that you have different things. You have the 2 right there, the team store right there. Again, people on the outside. You have the State Farm Gate 2. You have the giant Cardinal on the inside here. Again, it's the little attention to detail I like. That goes kind of inside there. You got little signs on the doors, on the walls right next to the doors. You got State Farm Stadium, again, right there. You have this thing right here. Now, this is very weird because it's like a schedule, right? But it's not the schedule for this year. I'm not sure which schedule or which year this is for, but it's not this year's schedule. It's like just a schedule. I don't know. It's kind of, again, like I said, it's kind of weird. I fact-checked this like 100 times to see what schedule this was. I looked over the years. I can't figure out which year schedule this is. It's just a schedule from one of the years in Madden. Or that's one of the years, not even real life. It's just like a random generated schedule. Which is weird, because why would they print it out on a paper and then put it in the game? Like, you have to actually put this in a texture file and go through that whole process. I don't get it. But again, like I said, I don't ever understand this company. But it's somewhat realistic. It is 3 preseason games. You got the bye week. And then that. What I was kind of thinking this might be is when you're in franchise mode and you go through the first season, after the first season, it just generates a random schedule. And that might be what it is. It just generated a random schedule. And it's like a future schedule for the Cardinals. That's the only thing I could really kind of put my eye on, maybe. Again, like this, like one of those situations where it's like, I guess maybe that's kind of their mindset. Yeah. Anyway, though, we do also have the Arizona Cardinals van, or I guess not van, like the little kiosk thing right there. So I spent way too much time on that, but again, it's one of those things. And the back one also is the exact same one as the front one. It's just one of those things where it's like, what's going on here? But okay. Anyway, inside is pretty much exactly the same as the other Maddens. Again, it's a little bit of details here and there that's updated that looks good. But for the most part, this is the best outside of any of the stadiums, 100%. You got the green trash cans. You got the practice field right here. You got the red little decals out here on the little other things. You got tractor trailers. It's just that little extra oomph of detail. I do appreciate it when EA Sports goes extra because they normally don't go extra, right? They normally don't go crazy with this. Got a little solar panel thing right here, which is kind of dope. I'm not, again, like I said, some of these things, I'm not sure exactly what they do. I think this is just for like the lights. It's pretty much just like, what are they called? Not sensor lights. Motion lights or whatever. I think that's pretty much what that is, and it just has a solar panel generator to kind of set that up correctly and have that always turn on whenever someone is near. So I think that's kind of what that is, and it's just easier than actually having it plugged in anything. It just has it set up there. Anyway, guys, so we have a total of 3, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 more stadiums to go through. So after this video, this is, again, marking down now top 10 of stadiums left. We have the Jags, Giants, Browns, Panthers, Broncos, Chargers, Commanders, and Eagles. So we're going to continue this series of retrospective series going through all these stadiums in Madden 22 to Madden 25 and continue down the line. So if you like to see one of those stadiums I just listed early, tell me down below and I will get started on that stadium. Keep in mind that we do actually have a playlist on the channel of all the stadiums we have done so far. So if those stadiums I just listed, all the other stadiums are done on the channel. They're in the playlist. And yeah, so again, rocking and rolling with this retrospective series. Normally I make videos on this channel and all other channels as well, anywhere from like 5 to 10, 15 minutes long. This series so far has been like 30 minutes of video. So I normally don't make videos this long, but with this retrospective series, it's really difficult not to because there's so much detail I want to make sure I get in on all these videos so you guys can see the differences throughout the years, right? I could just skim past real fast, quickly, and just miss a lot of detail, but I'm trying my best to cover as much detail as possible without being just boring and, just not really doing as much as I can, right? I'm trying to cover as much by also being entertaining throughout this series. So, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and comment down below if you are indeed new. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.